in Israel, but an Angelino all the way. Our next guest is putting his name in the ring to represent an area of Los Angeles with a very large, dense Jewish population. Dory Benami is vying for the Democratic ticket in next year's U.S. congressional race, and he joins us here in studio. Hello.
Thank you for having me, Emily.
So what a good coincidence that you happen to come here on your first trip since October 7th and take part in this historic moment. What has it been like for you to have this full circle experience?
I was here with my daughter and my wife. They're here for the first time in Israel. And we were at Hostage Square when the last remaining live hostages were being released. And it was a beautiful feeling. There's a change in the air in Israel. And I can see that Israeli momentum is moving in the right direction. And I believe that people should make plans to visit Israel, and we should increase tourism here. And I think that Israel will be stronger than ever.
Amazing. Well, thank you for coming and helping to bring that energy and that perspective, because we've all been here consistently for 2 years. And it's nice to see that you also, notice more enthusiasm for sure. So talk about, your background. You come from L.A. Your dad was, involved in the entertainment business, you yourself as well. So what made you go from Hollywood to, going through a political career?
I worked in politics intermittently throughout my life. My dad is a movie producer, as you said. When I was 17, he made a film in Arkansas, and we got to know Governor Clinton. And so I worked on the Clinton-Gore campaign in 1992.
Wow.
And then after law school, I worked in the movie business and left in 2008 to work on another presidential campaign. And so throughout, I've had an interest in politics, but I never thought that it would be me running. And so on October 7th, I saw my party and the people that I had stood with for decades turn their back on the Jewish people and on Israel. And I knew that it was my time to enter into the political field and to represent my community in the San Fernando Valley and in Los Angeles, but also in the world.
So, it's so interesting, clearly, the timing that there was some kind of inkling, in spite of it all. And then the fact that, what happened actually was kind of the catalyst and the trigger for you. What is it that you feel, on an existential level, given that you are technically a Sabra, even though you didn't grow up here, what kind of inroads should be made and can be made, for these communities in Los Angeles?
We're seeing a collapse of the Democratic Party in the United States, but especially in communities or states which are entrenched Democrats. And so we need strong new voices, and the 2026 primary is an opportunity for new voices within the Democratic Party like mine to represent Israel and to be strong for Jews. I think that we've relied too much on American Jewish people to represent us, and now it's time to have an historic first, Israeli born in the Congress, and also to strengthen the Democratic Party, which has gone in some places to the extreme left and abandoned Israel.
Yeah, and with that said, we've seen you get woke. Woke is not exactly the middle of the road Democratic Party that we're all used to. So yeah, explain how being a Democrat does not mean teaching critical race theory in schools and all of the issues that students are now facing in these kind of hostile school environments.
We're very alarmed by the indoctrination that's taken place. They're trying to erase Israel from the maps, literally. Wow. In education materials. And it's necessary for us to push back against this. There's recent legislation that was signed by Governor Newsom in California, AB 715, that strengthens Jewish kids' right to not be bullied or to be indoctrinated and for full transparency. And so this is the goal. The goal is to be strong, confident, and to stand with Israel and not against Israel, no matter what challenges we face.
Are you prepared to face backlash, given this is such an important part of your, campaign and your goals? I mean, we know that the world hasn't been silent, put it that way.
I think that there's a representative in Michigan who calls herself Palestinian and in Minnesota who is from Somalia. And I think it's time that there's an Israeli American that represents the Democratic Party as well. And so I think the best way to clean up anti-Semitism is to focus on your side of the street.
Yeah.
And so instead of abandoning the party, I think that it's necessary for us to be a two-party people and to look at this issue and many other issues in a bipartisan way. Mm-hmm. And so if I can be that bridge to this administration and to further administrations, I would like to do so.
Now, also the seat you're running for represents where I grew up as well. So it's representing Malibu, Pacific Palisades, Brentwood. I mean, these are very West L.A. very how would you say it, densely populated, a lot of Jewish people, a lot of professionals. But we have to look at what happened in the Palisades with the fires. And we know many people can't afford insurance, or insurance companies won't give insurance. So explain why it's also so important to you to be, a voice and, compassion to fight for these families, many of which are in their 80s now with no homes and no money for all of the years that they had this asset.
Los Angeles burned to a crisp in January, and people lost in their entire homes, everything that they had in an instant. And our leadership was absent. And so a lot of our leadership receives money from banks and from the insurance companies. And I won't take that money. I'm fighting for my neighbors, for my friends, for my community, for my family. And I think that it's necessary for us to protect our community from fire, from crime. We have a homelessness crisis that is a humanity crisis.
Yeah.
We have people that are living on our streets and dying on our streets. And meanwhile, we have politicians that are taking victory laps and celebrating a decrease in homelessness, but not accounting for the 2,500 people that died on our streets last year.
Now, as far as your campaign, I know the website is doryforcongress.com. That's easy enough to remember, Dory with a Y. Explain, you have a year until but you have a primary before. What is the workflow like to have to put yourself out there and deal with campaigning for the first time for yourself, not for President Clinton?
Politics is very interesting, and I'm enjoying it. You get to be your best self. You get to meet a lot of interesting new people and forge new relationships and speak your mind, because it's necessary to build a coalition, to talk to neighbors, to talk to friends, and here in Israel to talk to Jewish leaders and fight for what I think has been missing from politics, neshama.
Wow, amazing. So it is your mitzvah to do. I mean, this is really putting yourself out there when you don't have to. So that really shows that the commitment is there. And I'm wishing you the best of luck as you continue to campaign. And thank you so much, Dory.
Thank you.